I want to point this out because some of you guys might not notice this is on purpose. Okay, you guys are tech algebra. If you ever grab a paper that says CCSS, that's not you. That's my other class. So don't be crazy. Here's your warm up today. Going to be a good reminder. Okay, so I'm going to give you a set of data. I want you to use a calculator. We will probably have a quiz next week and a test shortly after. Again, we have to make up some math days, right? We had 3 enterprise days last week. So, what?
Why do you have quizzes?
To check in. Quizzes and tests are really the same thing. I just call them different things. So, do you want to just take one test and just call good? Because generally speaking, if you look at how you guys do as a class, if I look at how you do on quizzes versus how you do on tests, we do a lot better. Especially if we have multiple quizzes, we get better each time. So because I want you to do better, Kalanji, is that okay? That's nice of them. All right, look. Shh. You should have a sheet of paper that says trend lines on calculator. Okay, that's going to help you do both of these things. I want to see your calculator screen. See how I can see the points? Shh, shh. I want to see that and your line. That's what I'm looking for. Most of us are there. Luis, I already took one of the origamis from you. Man, I am probably going to kill you. Get over here, dude. No, come on. You can make your own. I'll give you the website, mathagon.org. You're welcome. Okay.
MS.Stolte, you said what website?
So, you should have on your screen, okay, as we go through this whole process, I'll go through it once really quick. Oh, man. Yours does die quick. Okay, when we're looking at this, again, you should get to a place where you don't need those instructions anymore. Okay, by hitting, we do stat. Anything with statistics, you're going to press stat. That's the way the calculator works. Okay, that's what stat is short for statistics. Okay, to edit, right, we have to put, if we have some data, that's what you're doing. You're putting the data in your calculator. 1, 3, 4, 7, 2, 1, 2, 6, 12. Okay.
How do you remember that?
And then you're calculating, right? Anytime I want to calculate a statistic, hey, stop this little powwow. Back to your seat. Jose, turn around. Dominic, scoot over there. I know, it's slow and steady. Okay. Here, again, calc is to say I want to calculate some statistic stuff. Lin reg is because we're talking about a line. All right? If it wasn't a line, like maybe here we went to exp reg. What do you think exp reg is for? Exponential or exponents. Okay? And reg is just regression. It's a fancy word. Okay? So here we go. This is the equation we should get. 1.53x plus 0. So if I type that in, you don't need the plus 0. So maybe you typed it, maybe you didn't. And then a lot of you guys, whoops. A lot of you guys are getting your graph. Most of you started here. But again, there are no points in any of these three quadrants or places. So we're trying to change the window. We're trying to zoom in on this graph. So when I hit window, on your paper it says do the smallest x, which is 0. I like to be able to see a little bit further than that. So I like to go like to -1. And then if the biggest x is 7, I'm just going to leave this at 10. And the same thing for the y's. The smallest y, or y min, is 1. I like to go a little bit further than that so I can see the 1. Okay? And the same, the y max is 12. So I'm going to go a little bigger than 12. Let's do 14. I don't know. So that now when I graph, okay, now when I graph, I can see more of my points. Some of you guys were really you kind of were cutting off half of the point, which is fine, but I like to be able to see more of it. Okay? Now here's what we're going to talk about today, because it didn't give you, so you didn't do this part. This sticks. Stat plot. You've got to go to stat plot and turn it on. So hit enter, and then hit enter again. Now hit graph. So see how it was blinking on? There we go. Okay. So now one of the things we need to talk about, right? First of all, what type of correlation is this?
Positive.
How do you know? Because the line is going up, so there is a positive correlation. Akash and Andrew, hey. Now the question is this perfect though?
No.
Why not?
Because it's point.
Because it's not touching all the dots, okay? Hey, when I know you're not paying attention because you're not even looking in this direction. It's a tell. This is not a perfect correlation because all the points aren't on there. Like when we talked about the basketball salaries, right? You guys had a lot of conversation about, well, not everyone, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? There's exceptions to these, right? In stats, we call them outliers. Klanji. In stats, they're called outliers, but they all aren't perfect on the line. So today, we're going to talk about, is this actually a good correlation? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to talk about how we can tell how strong the correlation is. Okay, so we're going to put that into our notes. It'll be quick. We are on A4A, in case we didn't know. Okay, here's the deal. You should be writing. You should have already started.
Yeah.
Okay, this will be quick, so long as you're not messing around over here. You guys already know this part. You already can find a trend line. The determining piece, we're already done with. Now we're on the interpreting piece. What does my trend line mean? Is it a good trend line? Okay, what does it tell me? That's what interpret means. And today specifically, we are looking at the strength of correlation. So, there is something called the residual. We're going to call it just our R value. If you ever went on and took a real stats class, they call it the residual. And the residual is basically having to deal with what this actual point is versus what the modeled line or the prediction line is. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're just going to refer to it as the R value. And what it does for us is it calculates the strength or weakness of correlation. It calculates the strength or weakness of correlation. In other words, it tells me, are my points really close to the line or are they really far away from the line? Okay? Because if these points were all really close to the line and they were all really right on it, that would be a really good correlation. If we had points that were just all over the place, that would not be a very good correlation. Okay? So that's what this R value does, is it tells us, are the points close to the line? Are they far from the line? is it strong or weak? In order to do that, we have to turn it on the calculators. You need to press second 0, and we're going to do this right now. Okay, don't clear your calculators, just get to your home screen. Okay, when you press second 0, notice it says catalog. There's a list of every single operation your calculator can do. On your calculator, you need to do this right now. 0, like it says right here. And we are trying to find the thing that says diagnostic on. You can either do that by scrolling through alphabetically, or if you just press D for diagnostic, you'll skip on down to the D's. You need to get somehow, whether you press D or you keep scrolling, we are going to diagnostic on, which is right where I am at my calculator. You need to get to diagnostic on. Get to diagnostic on and hit enter 2 times, okay? It's not on until it says done. So you need to get there and hit done. Every one of you needs to turn on your diagnostic. If you need help finding it, now's the time. Yeah, you need to see the word done on your screen. Done? Let me see done's. See, that's the last time I warned you.
I'm sorry.
You know, oh, you're not sorry. You know better than that. Done. Did you do this? Or no? And done. Did you go? Keep going. Diagnostic on. Yes? Okay. Okay. It should say done. So it did it. Great. Did it say done? Yeah, that's great. Lots of dones. I like it. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Hoping you didn't clear out your calculators. Maybe you did. Now when we go, we're going to calculate our line again. Okay, so notice all my data is still in there. All my points are still in there. If they're not, put them in real fast. 0, 1, 3, 4, 7, 2, 1, 2, 6, 12.
How do I do that? Wait,
Stat, edit.
go through the whole process again?
No, just the first 3 steps. It's quick. Are we talking gibberish too? What? Later. Okay. So now, when I calculate my line, when we calculate our line, okay,
What do you do after this?
hit stat and go over to calc and do 4. Okay, if all your data was still in there, you just need to go to stat and calc again, recalculate your line, step 3 on your little sheet, and you should get, now you get the equation that we had before and a whole other bunch of numbers. Huh? Did you hit stat? Go over to calc. 4. Enter.
Okay, I got it. I gave you this. Oh, you're doing it wrong. Oh, yes. I did it good. But I did it
Now hit
wrong.
enter.
I did it.
Yay. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's unfortunate. You should have the exact same thing as me. That's the, okay.
That's weird.
Now, here's what we're looking for. We are not looking for r squared. That is not what we are dealing with. Okay. So you kind of have the top is important, the bottom's important. You can kind of just like blur over the middle piece. Here's what we need. 0.92. This is our r value. Good thing I went to speech class. Okay. This is our r value. Couldn't say my r's when I was 8. Fine. I got it now.
Wait, what you said?
I had to go to speech class because I couldn't say r's when I was younger. R's. Worksheet. But I got it now. Okay. Does everyone have an r value? Tell me yes. Hey. Do you have an r value?
MS.Stolte has my calculator.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? Here you go. You have an r value. And you get a car. I need it back. There you go. So, does anyone know if this is good? Is it bad?
It's bad.
Let's take a bet. We're going to bet. You guys are in charge of this bet. I'll pay the bets, but you need to bet the people at your table whether you think it's good or bad. I have the terms of the bet, but
What is good or bad? The R?
yeah, I don't know. Is that good or bad? I don't know.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. You're deciding. So right now, if you think this is a good correlation, who thinks it's a good correlation? 2 of you only?
What does the R represent?
Okay.
What does the R is?
The R tells us how good the correlation is, but I don't know what it means yet. We're just seeing. So how many of you think that is a bad correlation? Not good. Those points are not close to the line. You need to vote. There's only been 4 people who voted. So you're choosing. Here's the choice. Look. Hold on. Let's try this again. R is 0.92. I don't really know what that means yet. Okay? We know it tells us if the correlation is good or bad, but I don't know how to interpret it. So if you think this is a good correlation or a bad correlation, that's your choice. Okay? So those of you who think 0.9 means it's good, the points are close to the line, raise your hand.
If it's good?
Okay? Okay, if you think, so then now let's see who's voting. If you think it's bad, raise your hand. Jose, you're not voting, man. You want to vote? Okay? No. So you need to remember the people at your table who voted bad.
I voted bad. You voted good, right? Yeah, I voted bad.
Who voted good? Good? Bad? Good. Okay, I don't know. Let's talk about it.
I don't like bets.
I'll pay this bet in a second. First, we're going to talk about this. Yeah, you were deciding, did that R mean it was a good correlation or a bad correlation? Oh, I'll give you some candy or something. The winners of the bet would get candy. I'll pay the bet. Huh?